Hey there, fellas. Good morning. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? An absolutely beautiful day. The sun is out, the birds are chirping, and I get the smell of money. It's time to go ahead and put some money in our pocket today. Looking forward to doing that with you guys. And again, hope your day's off to a nice little start. Let's go ahead and recap yesterday, see how those four bets unfolded, and then we'll get on into today's action where we got a Champions League bet we want to go ahead and share with you guys. And then, of course, we got the payoff pitch live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time with myself and the Hockey Squirrel. 15 MLB games today. Nice. Really nice MLB slate today. So look forward to jumping on into that with you guys. Let's throw up that recap first, as we like to do every single day by recapping the previous day. 2-2. Broke even. That feels like a win, right? Because if you watch the bets and how they just unfolded from a time perspective, to go 2-2, it's like, whoo, it's one of those like, whoo. Man, could have gotten our ass handed to us right off the jump in the opening day, but thankfully that did not happen. We did get tripped up by that Rangers F5 team total. Just a good old sports betting loss, right? Some days the hitters are going to win. Some days the pitchers are going to win. Yesterday was a day for the pitcher to win when we were back in the batters. So I don't even recall. Watched that game up until the fifth inning. I don't think the Rangers got a run or a base runner past the second inning. I think they only had one runner on the second, or a runner past the second inning. They only got a runner past the second base. I think they only had one base runner in scoring position through those first 5 innings. Ortiz, these guys are professionals, right? I mean, we know you don't get to this level by accident. Maybe why they're back of the baseball card, says they generally give up hits or they generally give up runs. All that can be true, but that doesn't mean they don't have it in them to go out and do what they did yesterday and pitch 5 innings of shutout ball. So tip your cap to the guy. Congratulations to him. So hopefully that doesn't happen to us today. But then we got tripped up by that Tigers-Royals F5 under. Shit, that was over in the first inning. 3 runs put up by the Tigers in the first inning. And then the Royals want to respond in the bottom half, scoring 3 runs in the first inning. So that bet was over. That bet, little unfortunate. You can't remove an inning by any stretch, but if the first inning is able to be removed, then that cashes with a 2-2 game, and obviously 2-2 is under 4.5. So just unfortunate that each pitcher came out and just didn't have their A game from the stuff, and obviously that certainly happens. But because of our other 2 bets were within that same game, that's where I was like, shit, like we about to go 0-4 to start off this week and be down 4 units. Lorenzen, though, didn't get a K in the first inning, got a K in the second inning, picked up 2 in the third, and then picked up another in the fourth, another in the fifth to go ahead and cash it over 4.5 Ks. A good plus money price for us right there. So started to get back on track, but I didn't think he was going to get to over 16.5 outs. You had the rough first inning where he gave up 3 runs, and then the fifth inning he gave up a 2-run home run. And I thought up until that point, you see it, right? Guys can have a 1 bad inning and still go 6 or 7 strong. The manager, understands it. Like, okay, 1 bad inning, whatever. You've shown you've been able to put it back together. And he put it together through innings 2, 3, and 4. So up until that fifth inning, I said, shit, he's going to go 6 strong like he always does. And, he's going to give us a nice easy cash. Then the fifth inning happens. He gives up a 2-run bomb. I didn't think it was going to come out for that fifth inning or that 6th inning. I thought it was over. Then you see him come out. It's one of those scenarios where if he gives up hits, he's going to, go ahead and get pulled. So he gets an out. So now you're at 16 outs. Then he gives up a walk. And then the ESPN Gamecast, had like a little delay in it, I guess is the best way to describe it. And I said, shit, that's a pitching change. So the manager was basically going to let him pitch the 6th inning. And as soon as he runs into any trouble, go ahead and give him the hook. Well, it's not what happened. He waited until that guy on first got to second base and get him to hook. Before he gets to second base, though, a good ground out into the infielder and get the throw over. So he ended the game with 17 outs. 17 outs, so win that one on the hook. So damage control there by Lorenzen. Give it up to your man, Lorenzen. Shit, need to scoop him up a jersey. That's a night saver right there. It's not quite a week saver. Obviously, we've got 6 days if we were down 4 units to turn it back around, but woof. Would have been an uphill task, would have been back up against the wall. So thank you, Lorenzen, for coming through for the people here on Winning Belts. Really appreciate you. Going 2-2 yesterday. Down 0.02 units, but down nothing relatively to speak. So yeah, that's how yesterday unfolded. Wild ride. Had me panicking and being nervous, I guess, is the best way to describe those emotions last night. So looking forward to today. Again, it's just an absolute beautiful day. I think we are in summer in Chicago. A couple weeks ago, we were teased with nice weather, and then it dipped back into cold. Memorial Day's approaching. I think we're in the summer. I could feel it. Feeling good today. Great MLB slate. Hopefully you guys are just as fired up as I am today. So let's hop on to that comment section, see what you guys got going on, and let's talk some Champions League. Got Manchester City obviously taking on Inter Milan on June 10th in Istanbul for the right to lift the Champions League trophy. Brian's fired up. Love to see that. What's up, Brian? What's up, man? Last night, what'd you think about that, man? Holy shit. But thankfully, we're sitting here basically on level ground, and we can attack the day with venom. We're out for blood today, Brian. Out for blood. Tim, what's up, my man? Nice call on the D-Lo under points. Yeah, man, I don't know why I didn't make those official plays, but I played them all 4 games, Tim. I played them all 4. I guess because I just haven't really been looking at NBA. I mean, I hadn't looked at NBA since baseball started. DeGent throws out one question before game 1. We, refresh the numbers in our brain. It's like, yeah, okay, well, the point guard still struggled to score against the Nuggets, so, we gave him that play. I played it all 4 days. Should have made him official play. Those are 4, sweat-free. So I'm glad you played it, Tim. You're a better man than me. Well, I played it. Not from, a record perspective on here, but good job, Tim. Good job, man. That's why I try to always encourage you guys to ask questions, but then also I throw out leans. Even the leans are, heavily researched. They just, for whatever reason, can't make me the official card, for various factors. But good, Tim. Good. Glad you were able to take advantage of that. My man. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. Luis, what's up, my man? Let's have a great day. Simply put, I like it. What about the Nuggets? Congratulations. Yeah, what about the Nuggets? What about all those people being like, Lakers can't go down 0-2. Lakers won't get swept. If you're not the better team, you can get your ass swept. The Nuggets were the better team. Hey, it's just like LeBron can't get swept. LeBron can get swept when he goes up against a better team. You know what I mean? LeBron's got inconsistent Anthony Davis around him, and then just, glorified role players. They ain't got nothing like that. So, yeah, what about the Nuggets? So now we got Nuggets Heat, presumably. I assume it's going to be Nuggets Heat. That's going to be a good one. I've got to pull in for the Joker. I want the Joker. Dude's won an MVP. He's a walking triple-double. I guess I'm going for the Nuggets. And we got the Gent here in the chat. Or maybe not today in the chat, but in general in the chat. So, yeah, let's pull for the Nuggets. Let's see if the Gent can maybe go to an NBA Finals. We know he went to a playoff game the other week back there. I don't know if he's been to the Nuggets have never made the finals, so he's never gone to an NBA Finals game. Be sweet, the Gent. Let us know if you're going to a game. What's up, Jared? I had hit in my top 4 when Champions League started. You remember their coach is goated. I had hit in my top 4 when Champions League started. You remember their coach is goated. I have no idea what you're talking about. How about LeBron talk about retirement? I didn't hear that. I'm not big into really following the NBA. I'm not big. I haven't watched ESPN, and I don't watch ESPN or FS1, or I don't watch any of those shows. So I didn't know LeBron was talking about retirement. Yeah. He's old as shit. He's been in the league 20 years? Right off in the sunset, man. Go enjoy your family. Yeah, I'm pulling for the Nuggets. We got the Gent. I don't know anybody in our chat that hangs out that's a Heat fan. I've never heard anybody say go Heat in the chat. So, yeah, I'm on the Nuggets. Let's go to Gent. You better player. Joker. Yeah, he's a GOAT. I still don't know what you mean there about your Champions League comment there, but let's, speaking of Champions League, I shared this bet on the payoff pitch. I was trying to share it with you guys yesterday, but you guys were so fired up that comment section, which I love to see. I just didn't get around to share this before the payoff pitch started, but I'm going to go ahead and roll with this bet here in the Champions League. I thought about adding Inter Milan team total under 2.5 goals, which would have brought it to minus 154 down to minus 130 on FanDuel. I'm not saying it felt like I was getting too cute at that point, because I don't see Inter Milan scoring any goals, to be quite honest. Sure as I don't see them scoring 3 goals, but it just felt like I was getting too cute. So I'm comfortable at minus 104. I'm comfortable with backing the best team on this planet and the best team on this planet is going to score, at least 2 goals. So I like that right there. I was going to do Man City clean sheet, but they've don't. So Inter runs a 2-striker system. They do Lautaro, and they play with Dzeko or Lukaku, but it's a 2-striker system. And Guardiola's side and City, they don't have to go up against 2 strikers that often. Normally it's, a high striker, put dudes behind the ball, and, you're going to try and hit City on the counter as best you can. But they don't really play against 2 strikers, so that's going to be something new to them. Like, they're going to have to, be prepared and be ready to play against a team that's going to run 2 strikers against them. So, maybe they do score a goal. And so I don't want to hold on to City clean sheet. I think City clean sheet is going to win. I think if I had to take a guess, it's City 3-0. City's going to win the Champions League 3-0. Can't imagine them not winning the game in 9. I mean, look, you saw the way they dusted Bayern. You saw the way they dusted Real Madrid. Like, they're gonna roll over Inter. I got it 3-0. That's about where I'm at, that 3-0. So this bet feels about as good as a soccer bet we've had in a long time. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. Obviously, when it gets closer, injuries and stuff could happen. But now I've got this bet locked in. When it comes closer, or maybe certainly may look to add some, other kind of game-related props. But I didn't want this line to move because as soon as people start getting closer to this date, that money line and that over 1.5 will get juicier, and it will not be at minus 154 anywhere close to like within the game week. So, and it's a ways away. They're not playing this game till June 10th. So you'll go ahead and lock up a unit. You'll lock it up for a while-ish, but I mean, what are we talking? 20 days. So it's not all that bad. So go Man City. I guess you guys have seen the bets I've shared on Twitter. If City wins this, I guess I got to go get a City jersey, right? They'll have made me bank winning the Premier League. They'll have made me bank winning Champions League. And I don't know if any of you guys tailed those bets. I shared those bets all the way back in August. I know that was an awfully long time ago, but City's, I may have to go out and get a City jersey. See, that's like, can a United fan wear a City jersey? I was thinking about that the other day. And then I think about, that's $7,400 in my bank account. Yeah, I think I can go get a City jersey. I think I can goddamn go get a City jersey. So we'll just see right there. So anyways, in terms of action today, that's non-baseball related. That's all the bets I have for today. There's no soccer action. There is a soccer game tomorrow with Chelsea or Brighton taking on City. And then Thursday, you've got Chelsea taking on Man United. So look to bet those games, but there's nothing going on in soccer today. We do get the French Open starting next week, so look for that. Obviously, you guys remember we turned a profit at the Australian Open. I'll recap those numbers a little bit closer, maybe on Friday's show as we go into the French Open on Sunday. So French Open will be starting then. Look forward to betting that tournament and hopefully turning a profit with you guys. But we'll have no afternoon action today. No afternoon action today, so we'll just roll with that. All right, we'll jump back in this comment section, then let's go get ourselves a Squirrel Final tickets. Have already jumped to $200 plus since last night. Well, let's make you some goddamn money today, DeGent, and we'll take care of that. We'll just take care of that for you. You'll take my favorite plays. You'll take yesterday's best bet one, yesterday's underdog one. Maybe today's best bet will win. Maybe today's underdog will win. Put that shit in a parlay. Let's get you $200. Let's get your ass to the finals, my man. Let's do it, DeGent. You don't know when the Nuggets are going to be there again. They're building a pretty damn good team. So like thinking maybe they can go on a run, but it's made to be a once-in-a-lifetime kind of trip, you know what I mean? So see if we can't get you there. See if we can't get you there. I'll be trying to get you there. I'm going to be trying to get you there. I'm going to be doing my part to help you out. I'm not going to go cold between now and then. I'm going to try and get hot. Try and get hot for you, DeGent. So get your ass there. You didn't have City in your top 4 at the beginning. Dude, I put $1,000 on City to win the Champions League. Don't tell me I didn't have City in the top 4. Anything this week for NASCAR, Coca-Cola 600? Haven't gotten there yet, Brian. Haven't gotten there yet, Brian. Good weekend, though. You got the Indy 500, Coca-Cola 600, Monaco Grand Prix. Like, this is the absolute, racing weekend. But I just haven't quite gotten there NASCAR yet. Haven't quite gotten around to it yet. So, yeah, I haven't gotten there yet. Ugh. And then what, City, Brighton, and then it's Chelsea United. Yeah. That's gonna be good games this week. All right, sweet. Well, let's go get a hockey squirrel. Let's figure out what baseball bets we want to go ahead and get on today. Let me know in the comment section what are some of your leans or what are some of your bets that you guys already have in baseball. You guys know I'll go back and forth with you guys while the squirrel is breaking down some games. Love the back and forth with you guys. So, all right, hang tight. Come back with you guys in about 5 or so minutes. We'll preview Tuesday's slate in the MLB. Yo, what's going on, my fellow baseball enthusiasts? Welcome on into Tuesday's episode here of the Payoff Pitch. It's live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern. He's the Hockey Squirrel. I'm Jason, and we're here to preview today's MLB slate. First inning is called Quick Hits. What's going on over there, Squirrel?
Not too much. Had a late night after the hockey game. They had a grill out, so I don't know. I was standing out in a parking lot till.
Oh, okay. So one of your own hockey games, not like the NHL,
Yes,
your own game.
yes.
Cool.
My real life hockey game. After the game, they had a grill out in the parking lot, so I was out there till like after midnight, standing in a parking lot eating brats. So.
Celebrating your Hattie? Is that what it was? That's why it went so long?
Nah, not last night, unfortunately. No. But yeah,
Cool, man.
and so hey, I wanted to look back at some of the scores from yesterday, and
Okay. What do you want?
the Mariners was that high scoring game, but it was all Mariners, like I said.
That's what we generally said. The Athletics were going to keep up.
Yeah, no, I knew. Well, I didn't know, but I said I had the projection of 2.5 runs, and they got 2. And if it was going to be high scoring, it was just going to be all Marlins, and it was. Mariners. Sorry, not Marlins.
Mm-hmm.
But
I hated.
Yep,
that,
there was that.
Yeah. Hated that, the Phillies couldn't come through for you. Obviously, I win my dog of the day in the Diamondbacks, but I didn't bet it, so I hate that
know.
for you personally.
I watched 3 outs of the game. It was like the 8th inning, I think, and the Phillies were down by like 1. And I'm like, okay, if they're going to do it, this is, so I tuned in. 1, 2, 3, out. I turned off the TV, and that was that. So
Solid enough of that. Oh, man.
Didn't need any more. So let's move on to today, though. But
yeah, okay, I'm all for that. I need let's see if I can have a bounce back. I went 2-2 yesterday. I lost 0.02 units yesterday, so nothing really worth speaking of. One of those days though, where as it unfolded, you think, oh shit, you're gonna go 0-4. So it feels like I won some money yesterday, even though I didn't. I'm energized, I'm fired up, and I'm ready to attack this MLB slate with you. Let's jump on into it. Around the bases, we take a couple games and break them down. How do you want to kick the show off?
I generally like to do this with my totals. However, today I've gone through all of the money lines, and out of all the money lines today, I have 5 bets. So some of those I have as a best bet or a steal or the underdogs. So I haven't quite made it through all my totals. I have all my projections. I just haven't matched them up and compared them all to the book yet. I'll slide in an underdog and a total because it correlates. It makes sense. I do like the Pirates again. They won yesterday, I think 6-4 against the Rangers. A little bit of value there on the money line, but what we'll talk about for the sake of the show here and doing some totals is the over. I have projected 9.5 with Rich Hill and Nathan Eovaldi there. It gives you a 1.5 discrepancy, which if you've been watching the show, that is generally what I look for between my model and the current line at the book. And the fact that I'm already on the Pirates would tell you that I expect runs, or at least that, I'm hoping that the underdog cashes. And generally that's what's called a correlated play is you're expecting both teams to score runs, but you take the underdog and generally the trend, or it would lead to a higher scoring game. So expect 9.5 there, 9 or 10 runs roughly in that Pirates game.
Okay, all right. Well, you brought up the Pirates game. Let's go and do it. Here and around the bases, I want to look at the best of the best. Who is the cream of the crop is what I want to go ahead and look at. You want to look at who's the best versus left-handed pitching? That's your Texas Rangers. I know we backed those Texas Rangers yesterday on an F5 perspective, and they didn't come through, but I've lost a bet before and gone right back to the well. I'm going to go ahead and do it today. Are the Rangers going cold? Maybe possibly after they weren't able to cash an F5 team total yesterday? Well, I think yesterday went up against a right-hander. Today they're going up against a left-hander. So it's going to be hard to navigate, like, are they getting cold? Because they're getting a different left-handed pitcher, or a different-handed pitcher, I should say. But they're the number 1 team versus left-handed pitching. That's why I've got no problem going right back to the well here. They're hitting .362 versus left-handed pitching. Their on base is 415. They're slugging 543. Their right-handed numbers, just to give you a little bit perspective from yesterday, were 269, 324, and 486. Still, were pretty damn good. They've obviously come down a little bit off the yesterday's performance, but nothing like they are hitting left-handers. I mean, number one absolutely by far. So love that right there. Rich Hill is coming off a good start up against the Tigers. We know that. We lost money in that game. But before that, he allowed the previous two opponents to go over their F5 team total. The Rangers also, they don't K at all. I mean, all this mashing they're doing, they're mashing. Like, they're not swinging and missing. Their K percentage is 11.3. I talk about trying to find teams below 20, but really like 15 to 18%. When I saw this number at 11.3 with 106 plate appearances, which from the left side is a really high number, from left-handed pitching at 11.3. Like, are you kidding me? So you could also look at Rich Hill under 4.5 Ks. I do think that is a nice look. He went up against this Rangers team twice last season, got 2 Ks and 4 Ks. So perhaps you look at Rich Hill under 4.5 Ks. So, and Rich Hill, home and away, really a different pitcher home and away. Home ERA 5.25, away 2.31. Opponent's batting average at home 307. On the road, it drops to 212. His Ks at home, he's had 17 and 24 innings. When he goes on the road, he's had 26 and 23 innings. So obviously the opponent matters, but just strictly looking at the numbers, he's a worse pitcher here at home, facing the number one team against left-handed pitching. Yeah, I go back to the well, no problem. Give me that Rangers F5 team total.
Speaking of going back to the well there, yesterday I took the Reds and the Cardinals with a pretty high projection of, I think I had 14, and I think it ended at 11. I think it was a 5-6 game. So I hit the over there. Today there's been an adjustment because you get even a higher total from the book. My projection is about 13.5 today, so half a run different from yesterday between the two teams, but still quite high. That's not the typical the typical total projection. Unless you're at Coors or Great American Ballpark, I believe, maybe like two of the higher ones. But it would kind of give you some backing that you're expecting a high-scoring game if you're getting even a run higher than yesterday to be at 10.5. Not a total you see too terribly often unless, again, you're at Coors. So I wouldn't mind going on the over again there. Or if you look at Coors Field, there's a game being played there today as well. I do have a projection of about 14 runs there, but you're having to pay 11.5 over, where in the Cardinals game you can get 10.5 with a fairly similar projection. So I'd probably go back to the well on the Cardinals and Reds on the over, and I'll do that at 10.5.
At 10.5, good stuff right there. All right, I told you in this inning I was going to back the two best teams. Well, the Rangers were number one against left-handers. Who's the number one team against right-handers right now in this current 10-day setting? That's your Houston Astros. Nobody's better right now than the Houston Astros. They're hitting 314, 384, and slugging 487 versus right-handed pitching. They got 5 runs off of Corbin Burnes yesterday. And every damn person sitting here watching this likes Corbin Burnes. Everybody thinks Corbin Burnes is good. So the fact that the Astros get 5 against Corbin Burnes, I think we were all impressed by that outing yesterday. And today, you're getting Colin Rea up against J.P. France. J.P. France with a better ERA and whip over Rea. Otherwise, the numbers are relatively same. But the Brewers' offense is also struggling mightily right now versus right-handed pitching. They're sitting in the bottom 10 versus right-handers. They only hit 213, 273 on base, and 366 slug. So I'm going to double dip in this game. If they were able to hit Corbin Burnes, they should certainly smash Colin Rea. So I'm going to do their F5 team total. And because there's such a big discrepancy of Astros number one versus a bottom 10 offense in the Brewers versus right-handers, I'm going to take a stab also at that F5 money line and see if this game can't go 2 cashes for us. And Astros have just looked so much better with Altuve. Offense is coming around. The numbers, when you look up, kind of go along with what you're seeing with the eye. The numbers are matching the eye. So, yeah, give me the Astros. I'll double dip on them today for an F5 team total and an F5 money line. All right, third inning, we like to shut up and pitch now. We've talked long enough. Let's give these guys some pitching props.
Yeah, here's a team that I like, so I will back the pitcher as well because I'm looking at The strikeout projections for, sorry if I slaughter the name, is it like Eroy Perez? Eroy
Oh,
Perez,
you're talking about
something
Yuri?
along those
You're
lines.
talking about Yuri Perez, the guy with the Marlins?
Yuri Perez.
Yeah, we backed him in his
Yes.
MLB debut. He gave us a good cash. His name is Yuri.
To do what? Do you remember?
We took the NRFI, and I gave out the lean of the over on K's. He hit the K's, but we only bet the NRFI.
Cool. Well, I'm going to go on the over on the K's as well because I do
Love it.
remember looking into him. I think he had some really solid minor league numbers. The projections for his MLB stuff is great, and even when I have backed him in the few starts that I can remember, I think he's always played very well for me. Anytime I've had money on the game, whether that to go under because he is a good pitcher or strikeout props as well. So if you have access to Caesar Sportsbook, it appears that they are way the freak off right now on this thing at plus 139. Other books, it seems they're plus 115 or plus 120. So you're getting a lot of value there if you have access to Caesars. And the line that I'm looking at is true. But that is over 4.5 strikeouts against the Rockies today with a projection of 5.3. It's a lot of value in terms of the line and also in terms of his stats and just kind of the performance of what he's done. So it's something I would feel fairly comfortable on, especially at that kind of plus money.
Yeah, and especially when the league, doesn't know his repertoire, doesn't know his pitch sequence. So jump in on him early before the league catches up to him. So I like it. Good plus money right there. Plus 136. Oof, love that right there.
139 apparently at Caesars, if that's still
39.
there. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. All right, I'm going to take it over, too. I'm going to do Mackenzie Gore here of the Washington Nationals. I like him to go over 5.5 Ks. He's gone over in 7 of 9 games. The guy's got some great strikeout stuff, and the Padres suck versus left-handed pitching. They strike out 27.3% of the time. They have the worst batting average in Major League Baseball versus left-handed pitching. They're hitting 150. So you're giving me a guy that crushes this number going over in 7 and 9. Now he gets paired up with this team that can't hit left-handers, and while they can't hit it, they're also striking out a ton. I mean, that's an absolute no-brainer. So I'll do Mackenzie Gore over 5.5 Ks. And I'm also going to do Ryan Nelson there of the Arizona Diamondbacks to go under 15.5 outs. Phillies are just hitting right-handed pitching. I wouldn't touch them yesterday. You remember when we did rapid fire? Well, who was my dog of the day because the Phillies can't hit left-handed pitching? Hopefully you were on those Phillies yesterday because they still can't hit left-handed pitching after getting smoked by Tommy Henry. Well, that's not the case today with the right-hander on the mound. This is a top 5 offense versus right-handers. They got a good high walk rate versus versus right-handers at over 14% and a decent strikeout number at 21%. And he stayed under in 6 of his 9 starts. So Phillies are going to bounce back today. Expect them to put up some numbers. Ryan Nelson, you're going to stay under 15.5 outs. You got another one there, Squirrel?
No, I'm okay with just the one for the pitching prop.
Because you're going to make it up with 6 MLB dogs today, so let me have them.
Well, as I told you, the Pittsburgh Pirates was one of them that I was on simply from a line standpoint. I have them projected at plus 122, plus or minus 122. So Rangers minus 122. I saw a bit of an overvaluing yesterday. We were talking about this in the chat as well because I had them minus 118 yesterday. I think they were minus 138 for the Rangers, so I didn't play them. I don't think I would have played the Pirates yesterday. They ended up winning, but I don't think I saw the value that I would have today on the Pirates. So if I'm getting, what did I say, plus 147 I grab the line at, and I have them modeled at plus 122, then that's really all I need for that. Next up, I thought yesterday that the Brewers might have been a decent play. They ended up losing, and you told me that the Astros were like the best whatever, all this. So I think today I may be seeing a bit of an overvaluing. I have it plus or minus 102. So more of an even odds game, and we're seeing Astros at minus 120. So that would put I have the Brewers at minus 102. And a little bit ago, right before the game, and I don't know if you've ever done this. I'm sure it's happened to you. It's probably happened to everybody. But you're sitting there, you're looking at the game, right? You're looking at this line, and you're in the midst of making a decision. And then the market goes, gotcha, bitch. And all of a sudden the line drops, and you're like, shit. I should have made the decision, and now I'm sitting here 10 cents later, and I don't want to make the same play because I liked it at plus 122, and now it's like plus 110. So it's like I don't, there's my value. It's gone. So, yeah, I mean, had that lasted maybe a minute or two longer, I would have been on the Brewers at plus 122.
If you lasted a minute or two longer. Have you ever heard that?
Hey, you know what? All right. Sure. I'm going to throw an awkward-ass wrench in that one. Yes, so my warning then to... My caution then to you would be wait closer to game time for this one. I'll probably be on it if it gets back to the plus 120. I think the best right now is
the Brewers
plus
you're talking about. Getting back to the Brewers?
Yeah. I mean, with the Astros, like you said, what they did yesterday, all this, Altuve's back and all, there's so many narratives I think that you could take on the Astros, but when it comes down to the price, I think it's more of a coin flip. I mean, that's how I look at it. If I'm plus 120 on a coin flip, I'm cool with that. I would do that all day long.
Well, keep in mind the Astros are like the Dodgers. They're like the Yankees, public. I mean, the Astros have been good for half a decade now. So there's just a very public team. They win more than they lose, and the public obviously likes those teams, parlays, what have you. So yeah, they're always generally going to be valued higher than what they should be, for sure.
Right. So if I wait for them to get bought back up, which I'm pretty sure they will, then Brewers may be a good look there for you today, I would think.
All right. So you like Pirates and Brewers? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead. I like this team as a dog. Do I like him as a full game dog? Ooh, we lost the squirrel. Do I like him as a full game dog? Oh, he's coming back. Let's get him back in here. Hold on a second. Where is squirrel? Bam. There you go. All right.
That was strange. It just said, thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining.
Just kicked me off. I was like, hey. In terms of underdogs, though, I do believe that is pretty much about it. Pirates, yes, and
okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be on this dog, so it looks like I'm going to be walking this one alone.
I have some heavier favorites today, actually. So you just wait till it's a steal in the
cool.
coming to a stretch.
Love it. All right, my dog. It's not as sexy as a full game dog, but that's because it's an underdog, right? You don't get better pitching, you don't get better offense, you don't get better bullpen. But in this one, starter maybe a wash. Offense is where you're really going to get the advantage. We already talked about this game a little bit when we talked about Mackenzie Core going over his strikeouts. I like the Nationals today. I do like the Nationals a lot. They're going up against Yu Darvish, but the Nationals are a top 5 offense right now versus right-handers, hitting 280, on base at 321, and slugging 457, low strikeout percentage at 20.9. So love what the Nationals are doing. We talked about what the Padres are doing. League worst versus left-handers, hitting 150. Guys want to talk about Soto. Guys want to talk about Machado. Obviously, he's injured right now, though. Fernando Tatis. It's just not getting it done right now versus left-handers anywhere at all. So I'm getting a massive hitting advantage. Gore, go look up his stats. He can hang with Yu Darvish right here. Yu Darvish went up against the Nationals twice last season, had a good outing and a bad outing, where Gore has never seen the Padres. Obviously, he was a Padre last season. He was the big trade piece there for the Juan Soto. This is what the Nationals wanted when they got Juan Soto, was this kid. He is good. Look him up. It's the bullpen you want to avoid for the Nationals. It's not terrible. It's league average. But the Padres is top 3 right now. They're humming along right now. And when they get a lead, the game is over. You're not coming back on the Padres. So I'm going to steer off of a full game dog. But the Nationals F5 money line at plus 136. There is the option of getting the push, obviously, with an F5 money line. But I'm expecting this offense to just hit Yu Darvish a little bit more and keep Mackenzie Core. He's going to keep these Padres bats in check. So my dog of the day is the Nationals F5 money line at plus 136. 5th inning, keep swinging. We got to give these guys some hitting props today. What you got?
I thought it would be nice to finally talk about my Minnesota Twins, okay?
Oh, cool.
My Minnesota Twins.
Right.
No, it's not something I do very much to take batter props or anything. One guy right at the top though, Christian Vasquez against Alex Cobb. There was a couple others. I saw a little bit further down the list. Carlos Correa and Corey Dickerson are three Minnesota Twins players that have some familiarity there. Um, Sorry, not Corey Dickerson. The emblem looks exactly the same when it's really small. I don't know. It's even my team. I don't know why I said that. The emblem looks super small though. It's like that blue circle with the writing in it.
Yeah.
Christian Vasquez and Carlos Correa. Those are two Twins players though. Those are the guys I was going to take to get hits. Vasquez being better, 19 at bats with 12 hits, so pretty damn good.
Yeah.
632 average there. So probably one to take a look at.
Did anybody yesterday download that MLB Beat the Streak app that I talked about? Is anybody well on their way to winning $5.6 million? Are you sitting at a 2? I'm sitting at a 2 after yesterday's day because I gave you guys a couple of winners. I'm going back in today. I am going with Christian Vasquez. I'm locked in on Christian Vasquez. How can you ignore 12 for 19? That's 632. He's hitting 632 off Alex Cobb with only one strikeout. All those hits but one have been for singles, so don't take this guy for an over total basis. And then pair him with Ohtani. He's 2 for 2 against Bello. We remember this game quite fondly. Remember, this was earlier in the season on the Boston Marathon, whatever the hell they call that day, in terms of like the baseball. Obviously, the marathon is called Boston Marathon, but whatever like the baseball thing is called. Remember, this was the game where he was pitching. Angels jump out to a big lead, but we've got Red Sox F5 team total with Ohtani on the mound. Then comes a big rain delay, knocks him out of the game, and now we're sweating. He destroyed Bello in his 2 out bats before that rain delay came. I mean, he overpowered him. So I'll take Ohtani and I'll take Vasquez there of the Twins to get it done and keep streaking on Beat the Streak. All right, 6th inning. You teased me. There's a lot of favorites. We've got people in the chat saying Yankees, Rays. I don't know if you're on Yankees or Rays, but what you got?
I am not. I don't know. I don't know if you'd call it a public team. I guess you could because there's some really, really good players, and I'm glad you didn't go on the full game, so I don't have to go straight up against you on the Padres. The reason I call this a steal is because just before we got on the payoff pitch, there was a really weird, like buy down or whatever you want to call it, but for a limited window, there was the Padres at a minus 132 that I got in on. That was at, I believe, might have been Bookmaker or Bet Online, one of the two. I think it was Bet Online, but that was for a real limited window there, and I got it. So I think they're closer to 140 now. I mean, you might be able to find them 138, something like that. Some of those retail books, at the time I grabbed that, they were still like minus 150 for the Padres for some reason. So definitely take a look around at all your books, especially if you're looking at anything offshore. Make sure you're line shopping. But I have the Padres modeled anyway at minus 158. So to get minus 132, I was extremely happy with that line, and it was a limited one, so that's why I called it a steal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that.
I love it. So the Nationals win through the first 5, and then that bullpen that I don't want a piece of comes in, wets the bed, and the Padres lock it down, and you get the win. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Sure, okay. That's how it'll go.
Let's go Padres. All right, for my steal, of course, I like to give out my NRFI of the day. I'm going to go ahead and give out Giants Twins. Giants Twins comes in at minus 120. Sonny Gray, he's only allowed 1 run in 9 starts so far this season. Opponent's batting average at 152. Like, it's not all about how many runs you're giving up. What's your whip? What's your opponent's batting average? How many Ks do you get? Well, 152 opponent's batting average with 12 Ks and 9 starts. Those are numbers that I love 9 games into the season. And what about Alex Cobb? What about 0 runs in 9 starts? This guy's been absolutely perfect. A 129 opponent's batting average with 9 Ks in his own right. The Twins are getting a NRFI 75% of their games, which is 6th worst. The Giants are pretty decent, actually. They're only getting a NRFI 67% of their games, which is 9th best. So we'll hopefully really lean on these 2 pitchers that come out and really are on fire. And again, the Giants are currently hitting 194 versus right-handed pitching. So you get that on your favor, right? Even though they may be the 9th best in terms of not getting a NRFI, they're not hitting the right-handers right now. And Sonny Gray, I mean, both of these guys have ERAs under 2. Both of these guys have very low. And both of these guys, just look up the back of their card. These guys are having a damn good season. So I'm going to go ahead and take the NRFI and Giants Twins at -120. 7th inning, coming to a stretch. We'd like to give our best bet of the day. What's that for you, Squirrel?
All right. You might hate me after yesterday. I'm literally making, it was the biggest discrepancy yesterday. It's the biggest discrepancy today, which makes me wonder something about my model, or, it kind of freaks you out in that regard, because it's like, Phillies yesterday at a -190, they lose, and then I'm going through all the games, and the best discrepancy is the Phillies once again today on the money line. So it's like, it sucks to lose -190 on them and then have to go back in on them the next day. But if you're removing emotion and you're looking at it from a logical approach, then it shouldn't really make too much of a difference. I mean, if you removed the team name, it was whatever, the Houston Astros, and there was the same discrepancy. I mean, it wouldn't really matter who you're betting on if you have the numbers in your favor, right? Yeah. Game came out incredibly low. Opened -130 in some places, 135. Currently, it's made its way up to about -150, and there's still some meat on the bone to have even at that price. So -149 is actually where I grabbed it, and throughout the day here, I do expect that it closes even higher than that. You get Matt Strahm today, so against Ryan Nelson, probably not as good as Zach Wheeler would have been yesterday. I mean, obviously, if you got a projection over -200 yesterday, and that's where the game closed too, I think, was probably -220 after I grabbed it -190. So I had a ton of CLV, and that's what you look for. You look for movement in that direction. You've already gotten movement in the correct direction from today, from today's opening line till where it's at now. But that's my best projection for the day. Once again, is the Philadelphia Phillies. So no Yankees, no Rays, or whatever. No, unfortunately.
We'll get to that in rapid fire. Maybe you'll have a lean on the Yankees or Rays. I like it. I mean, this is why I like baseball, right? Everything changes every day. They're seeing a right-hander versus left-hander. I already talked about that, obviously, earlier, but that's why you can feel good going back to the Phillies. They burned you yesterday. Who gives a shit? Rangers burned me yesterday. I'm right back on the well. #1 team versus left-handers, so I like it. And again, I'm not even expecting the starter to go into the 6th inning, so I absolutely like the Phillies today. I'm right there with you. For my coming to a stretch, I'm going to circle back to the 2nd inning. Which #1 team do I want to back? So when I sit here tomorrow, I can say I'm 2-0 this week on best bets, because yesterday's best bet cash with Lorenzen going over 4.5 Ks. I'm going to pick the Rangers. I'm going to do the Rangers up against Dick Mountain. So that's the one I'm going to go ahead and do. So give me that Rangers F5 team total as the best bet today. Back them. There's also a funny thing. I've been hanging out with my guy Steven on Twitter. He's a pretty funny guy, actually. He's a Titans fan. He's funny as hell. Anyways, we've gone back and forth since last baseball season. Like, when a bet loses, just take it the next day. And there was like a 30-day stretch where we were tracking this. It's so funny how you lose a bet, but then the next day that same bet cashes. Even if the stats were worse, because he was like, why are you not betting? I'm like, well, the stats aren't there. I like to put my money in what I think is a good betting spot. He's like, yeah, but it didn't cash yesterday. It's cashing today. So anyways, not that that's going to guarantee the Rangers cash today, but it is funny how you track that in baseball, and these guys bounce back. So I'm betting because they're the #1 team versus left-handed pitching. So give me the Rangers today. Rangers F5 team total. That's your best bet today. Go ahead and put your cash on it. 8th inning double play. We'll give you guys our favorite parlay of the day. What's your favorite parlay today?
Well, let's see. Probably Padres Phillies for a two team money line there. That would get you
Padres Phillies. Okay.
Let's see what that would get you. +194. Well, that's assuming you get the -132 price, but yeah, something closer to -2, +200. I mean.
Okay. All right. For my best bet today, I'm going to circle back to that Twins F5 money line. Kind of touched on it there when we talked about the NRFI. 2 great pitchers, and if you're watching other content today and some guys say take the F5 under, I could see it. I mean, these guys have just Cobb and Sonny Gray both have just great numbers. I'd be a little bit worried just because how great the Twins are. Hitting right-handers. Again, they've got the 2nd best batting average right now versus right-handers. They're hitting 282 On the flip side, remember the Giants were hitting 194. So even if this is an absolute pitcher's duel, it's a F5 money line. So if it's a tie, we'll go ahead and get our money back. So I just think the Twins, Sonny Gray will match Cobb and expect that offense to give you just enough you need to get over the hump. So I'll take that Twins F5 money line, and I'm going to go ahead and parlay that with the Diamondbacks, Phillies, F5 over 5, expecting obviously Ryan Nelson to get hit by the Phillies. And then the Diamondbacks are pretty good versus left-handers. Not top of the league. Not numbers where you'd want to take an F5 team total. Maybe like you would want to take the Phillies F5 team total. But they're like just below those thresholds. So expect the Phillies to maybe carry the load. But I do expect the Diamondbacks to chip in with about 2 to 3 runs in their own right. So I like that one to go F5 over 5. Twins F5 money line. That's plus 227. Plus 227. All right, let's throw up all of our bets. And then let's get on into rapid fire, where we can go ahead and talk all these games. We'll tell you if we like the Yankees. We'll tell you if we like the Rays. We'll tell you if we like the Rockies and any other team. So you can see my bets right there. That's how I'm going to go ahead and roll today. Squirrel, what you got?
Padres. One thing we didn't talk about, I'm taking the Angels on the money line. We'll get to it in rapid fire. Pirates I've talked about. Phillies I've talked about. And to address Tim in the chat, he likes the Rockies. I like the Marlins with, how would you pronounce it? Yuri Perez. I got to get that one down. I got to get that one memorized. But yeah, I do like his numbers and backing him there. Not only on the Ks, but also full game.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get on into.
Okay.
Sorry, I was obviously typing in the chat.
I know you're good. You're good. It's just
I literally have no clue what you're saying. I'm like just stuttering. Oh, you said the Rockies, Marlins, Yuri Perez. Yeah, I like the Marlins too. Let's see what I like in rapid fire. All right, let's jump on into this thing, fellas. White Sox and Guardians with an over/under of 8.5. What plus 110 for the White Sox? Guardians minus 130. Get an exact repeat pitching performance as you saw 5 days ago in a 3-1 game. I will, of course, take the over in that. So I'm just going to talk over 8.5.
I have it projected at 9, so it's nothing I'm super interested in. I think it's fairly close. White Sox, I have plus 106. So the plus 110 does me no good, and that would put the Guardians minus 106, which is an overvaluing with the juice. So I'm not interested in anything in the game. Yesterday I leaned Guardians and then felt like I should have played it after the game, after the fact, but that's how it always goes. Right? It's like, I think they might win, and then they do win, and then you're like, shit, I should have played that.
I knew it.
But,
I knew it.
Yeah.
What about the Rangers and Pirates with an over/under of 8? Rangers minus 165 and the Pirates at plus 140. We obviously know you like the Pirates.
And the over. You're getting, from my model anyway, you have a run and a half discrepancy of 9.5. So I like the Pirates and the over to make up for no plays in the White Sox Guardians game. You get 2 for 1 there.
I can come along with that over. I like the Rangers to do damage. I think the Pirates chip in for a handful, so I'll come along for that over with you. Blue Jays and Rays, over/under of 9. Blue Jays plus 105. Rays at minus 125. Taking the Rays.
You say Blue Jays are plus 105?
Yeah, I'm taking the Rays at minus 125.
Okay, so this is another game where I have Blue Jays plus 106. That makes Rays minus 106. So again, spot on the underdog and overvaluing to the Rays as far as I'm concerned. And I have 8.5 as a total. I don't know what it's actually at.
9.
Yeah, okay. Well, pretty close then. So I'm not overly interested in anything in that game either.
Right. Cardinals and Reds, over/under of 10.5. Cardinals minus 135. Reds at plus 115. Cardinals still check out. I mean, they didn't get the job done yesterday, but they still are going to give you the advantages. Ashcraft, Wainwright. I mean, Wainwright's just so crafty of a veteran. He could match Ashcraft. Ashcraft is on a nice little bit of a roll this season. I'm going to go Cardinals.
Is Wainwright Ashcrafty?
Yeah, right. I'm going to go Cardinals, though. I still like them, even though they burned the people yesterday. Give me Cardinals.
Okay. I have it plus or minus 121 with a favorite to the Cardinals. My projection's 13.5 on the total, though, which really leads me to liking an over. It was 9.5 yesterday. They've adjusted it to 10.5 today, but still model discrepancy that's large enough to play. So the over is the play for me in this game.
Okay. Diamondbacks and Phillies, over/under 9.5. Diamondbacks plus 130. Phillies minus 150. Full game over scares me with the Phillies bullpen numbers sitting in about top 5, top 7 in some other categories. So you could see the Phillies bullpen come in and shut things down. That's why in double play, I just gave you the F5 over. I'm just going to do Phillies because I am scared of that full game over in that bullpen. So I'll just say Phillies money line, -150.
I played the full game over yesterday at 8.5, and oh my God, it was a stressful top of the 9th inning to get that one extra run to put me over.
Yes.
So I did get that, even though I lost the Phillies on the money line. It helps when at least you can hit the total and try to offset a little bit on that, right? But yes, the Phillies money line today is where I'm at a -149.
Okay, and then again, if you like the Phillies and you look at the numbers like I do from bullpen perspective, you say, wow, they're top 5, top 7. Those are the arms you should be getting in this game. Remember, they were down yesterday, so they trotted out the slappies out of the bullpen. They gave up the run in the 9th inning to give you a cash. That's not going to happen today if they're able to get on Ryan Nelson and get into those good arms. So this game could the runs could just dry up late in this game. So Orioles and Yankees with an over-under of 7.5. Orioles +140. Yankees -165. Almost the second NRFI of the day. Kyle Bradish hasn't given up a run so far in the first inning. Garrett Cole is Garrett Cole. But I liked, obviously, Twins and Giants a little bit more. So settled on that one. For a winner,
repeat that total. Did you say it was like 6.5?
It's 7.5. Kyle Bradish is doing nice.
7.5.
Yeah, Kyle Bradish is doing nice.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I have the Yankees -156, so it's in the right in that kind of general area. But the total somehow, unless I wrote it down wrong, I have 9.5. So if we're talking 7.5, I don't know.
Yeah, jump on that one. You got jump. Yep. I like the Yankees money line today. They've got the better bullpen numbers. Offense numbers are kind of neck and neck. They kind of flip flop like who's better. So yeah, that's 7.5. You would think with Kyle Bradish, you're not going to get a 7.5, but let's see. Bradish over 5.5 Ks. The Yankees K number right now is 25.6. So not a number where we want me to take it over. I'd have to just look and see maybe how often Bradish does go over 5.5. But Yankees aren't K heavy in this current stretch. So yeah, it just depends on, I guess, how Bradish normally does. Padres and Nationals over under of 8. Padres -150. Nationals +130. Nationals, dog of the day, right here. Sticking to them on the full game for payoff or for rapid fire.
That's my steal of the day so far, man. -132 is where I got on them. But even if not, if you don't like the Nationals and you do want to take the Padres, even at a -140, they're still good by my by my projections. You'd be getting 18 cents at -140. I think that's where the line was at. But I like the Padres there. And then heading into two of the next games anyway, the Dodgers and Braves and the Tigers and Royals, I never priced, I think, because either there still isn't a pitcher or one of the pitchers was like debut.
Yeah, I can expand on that in a second. Just going back to that Padres Nationals, I would say if you like the Padres today, I would take the under. Because not expecting the Padres to hit shit hitting 150 versus left-handers. So if you think Yu Darvish is going to keep this game and the Nationals bats that are hitting, 280 something, third best in the league, quiet, then you're expecting a low-scoring game. And again, I told you I already don't want this Padres bullpen. It's top right now in Major League. So if you like the Padres, I would maybe parlay that with the under. See if you can't hit a little same game.
What's the number on the under right now?
8.
Okay.
Is that where you got it?
9, but
9.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. This next game here, Dodgers Braves. This is Bobby Miller, number 1 prospect here for the Dodgers. Number 2 overall prospect. Number 1 pitching prospect. Last night they threw their number 2 pitching prospect, and that didn't go very well for Gavin Stone. I don't know anything about Bobby Miller, so I didn't waste my time handicapping this game myself. So I have no idea. You got Spencer Strider on the mound, but the Dodgers actually do really good against power pitchers. So I wouldn't expect Strider to overpower. I mean, I know he comes in, and we've taken, I think, 2 times this year, F3 angles with Strider, and we're 2-0. I didn't even consider it because the Dodgers are a good power pitcher hitting team. So you add that in with Bobby Miller, whoever the hell this guy is. I didn't really look at this game. It sounds like you didn't either. And to your point,
no, you can't when there's no data. I mean, or right. I can't really.
And then to your second point about the Tigers Royals, Let me get a glance. Yeah, I
I
don't
think
see
they
any
didn't
book.
have
I
a
don't see any
pitcher.
book offering lines because the Royals don't have a pitcher. I will tell you though, I did
Yep.
spend time looking at this though, because I always handicap left-handed pitchers first. That's how I kind of just start off my day. And the Royals have the second worst batting average versus left-handers. They're hitting 154. So like, I want to know who the Royals are pitching because I want them to throw a lineup, and I'm thinking about fading the Royals in some capacity today against Erod. He's off to a nice start. He had a little bumpy start there recently, but overall, like season-wise, he's on one hell of a roll. And the Royals are struggling, but no lines, so can't really go there. But I could assume when the Royals do announce a pitcher, I'm probably gonna like the Tigers. What about the Mets and the Cubs with an over-under of 8? -110 up against -110. Senga up against Drew Smiley. Almost pulled the trigger on Smiley under 4.5 Ks. I think that's a pretty good look. And if you just want some extra action, I think you could take that. Mets are a very good K team. Decent right now versus left-handed pitching. But really exceptional like in their K perspective. So I do like Smiley under 4.5 Ks. This one is a toss-up. I'll tell you right now. The Cubs right now, listen to this ERA. How about a 10.13 ERA in their last 10? How about opponents' batting average of 361? How about a BABIP of 458? Give me the Mets at -110. I don't care who's starting. That Cubs bullpen is not performing right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty fair line. I have Mets -106, and I'm interested in the over 8 then because I have 10.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you are. Nice. It sounds like you got a big card today. Everybody's need to jump on.
Yeah, I will.
HockeySquirrel.com.
I'm sure I will. As I said, I got through a lot of the money lines, so I'm kind of chomping at the bit to get the totals out now.
Yeah, you got some stuff right here. All right, what about Astros and Brewers? Astros -125, Brewers +105, over under of 9.5. I like the Astros, obviously. I'm on them to at least win the first game. And the Astros have a great bullpen. Why did I not go full game money line? Just because.
Win the first game? Why is there a doubleheader?
Or I meant first, whatever. I didn't mean first game. The reason I didn't go full game money line, even though the Astros have a great pen, is because I know we're going to see a right-hander and they're number one versus right-handers. They may bring left-handers out of the bullpen because their numbers versus left-handers aren't as good. I just wanted to focus on number one versus right-handers. Like this is what we're getting. We're getting this dude for the first 5 innings. So, but the full game money line's still good. So I like Astros at -125.
Yeah, this was the game I talked about that I wanted. I was looking at +122. I was happy with it. It dropped to 114. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
So I have the Brewers modeled -102. So if I get back to +120, I'm happy with that. I'll take it.
Okay. All right. We got the Giants and Twins with an over-under of 8. Giants +135. Twins -155. Another game. Not a lot of separation between these bullpens, so that's why I'm just only going to be on that Twins F5 money line. There's no advantage. It's going to be late in this game, where I think there's a big amount of advantage earlier in the game.
Do you mean
when you're getting two right-handers?
My Minnesota Twins?
Yours. They need to come through for the people here. We're trying to get the Gents sent off into the game 1 of the finals. They need to come through for the people.
Yeah.
All right, literally the lines just popped in for Tigers Royals, so we actually can circle back and at least throw the lines out there. I don't know if I'll still have an opinion, but Twins, Giants, I like the Twins, and I like an under 8. Give me an under 8.
I like the Twins not to bet, but it's a pretty close again to a fair line. You said -150, 155 in that area. I have -148 as the projection, so pretty fair line. It's not overly juiced and all that. I have 8.5. I don't know what you just said for the.
I got 8
total.
So
yeah,
you're not betting that.
Pretty close. So
Tigers and Royals, the over under did come in at 9. Tigers -145, Royals +125. It's not listing me starters. We still don't know who the hell the Royals are throwing. They just want to take your money, so they're willing to give you some lines. I'm taking Tigers F5 money line.
I got a couple sources I can check to see if I can find
a starter.
Yeah, I have a couple of places I normally look, so I'll see if there's anything listed. Still says undecided at the first place, and the second one says TBD.
That's tactic, Rise. Ain't no Major League Baseball team undecided on what the hell they're going to do 8 hours before they play. That's tactics. Undecided, my ass.
No.
Not happening. Marlins and Rockies with an over-under of 11.5. Marlins at -120. Rockies at even money. Yuri Perez up against Austin Gomber. Fly ball pitcher playing at home in Colorado. That smells effing disastrous. Give me the Marlins at -120.
Yeah, I have Marlins -117. I actually bet. I have them modeled -132, so I was happy with that. Might hop on the over there as well. It's 11.5, but if you're talking about fly ball pitcher at Coors Field, haven't looked at the weather yet, but I have a projection of 14 runs. I have 13.5 in the Cardinals and Reds game. So those are the two highest projections that I have for the day in terms of totals. So if you want to take Marlins or an over, I think either of those are fine.
Like it. Red Sox and Angels over under of 9.5. -115 for the Red Sox, -105 for the Angels. I like the over in this game with Bello and Canning on the mound. Two good offenses. Neither of these pitchers. You could take both of their under outs prop. I think one was like 16.5. These guys aren't going deep in this game with these offenses. So, yeah, take the over 9.5.
I'm with you on that. I have 11 as a projection for the total. And I got plus 102 at Bookmaker, bookmaker.eu. One of the very few books that you can't get limited at, much like Bet Openly. You can't get limited there because it's peer-to-peer sports betting. So if you are worried about steam chasing, if you're worried about betting props or any of this kind of stuff, the things that normally get you limited at a book doesn't happen at Bet Openly because it's peer-to-peer. There's no house. So, and you're doing it all at 1% juice, so that's absolutely excellent. And unlike any place I've ever seen before, you can host parlays. Seriously. If you figure out the math on that, you can clean up. I promise you. So go check that out. Other than that, I like the Angels. I have them -120 on a projection and the over at 11. So Angels and the over are my selections in that game.
You mentioned the parlays over at Bet Openly. Can you make it as many legs as you want?
It used to be only 2 or 3. I think you can go to 4 now. It's 2, 3, or 4. But do keep in mind that the more legs you're hosting, the more juice you're having to pay, right? So, you're probably at 4 legs, you're going to be paying -700, -800, right? So, I mean, you'd be laying like $800 to win a $100 bill. But at -800, you have to consider what are your implied odds of winning that. Pretty damn high. I think minus, so 1,110 or 1,111 I think is 9 or 10%. That would be the chance that the opponent has to win. On a plus 1,000 parlay, you're giving yourself like 10% chance to win. Mm-hmm. So, if you have these games modeled and figured out, where you can give yourself, I mean, you're getting over a 90% chance to win on some of these, essentially. Sounds bad, right? Because suppose you lose one of those, like you lose $800 trying to win a $100 bill, right? So you have to win 9 for every 8 that you're you have to win 9 out of every,
That's literally the opposite, because normally everybody's accustomed to, I can lose like 10 parlays, just need to get one hit. You know what I mean? It's the opposite. It's like you get that one loss on Bet Openly and you're crushed.
Right. So it gives you a glimpse at being on the other side of the counter, though. You have to understand what they're seeing because, I don't think people ever, that never crosses your mind. Like how does the house host these parlays and the risk that they're actually taking? I mean, you think about this. Like, okay, if I make a plus 1,000 parlay, they're taking minus 1,000, right? So if I lay $10 to win whatever, so like they're risking $1,000 there. It's just not. But they're comfortable doing that, right? So, whatever.
Right, as we know what happens. All right, last game here. Athletics and Mariners, over-under of 9. Athletics plus 180, Mariners minus 210. You didn't like the Athletics today?
Still overvalued, yeah. I just saw it get bought down a couple minutes ago. I'm not joking, man.
No.
Not joking. I have plus 166. I think they were close to plus 200 a little bit ago. Plus 190, something like that. I think they got bought down. Let's see. was yeah, they're like plus 180, plus 170. I see plus 190. I mean, dude, it's depends what your book is, but uh, overall, the general consensus they got bought down within the last 10 minutes.
I like the over here. We talked about why we like the Mariners yesterday with the Athletics struggling versus right-handers. Today they get a left-hander. I mean, they're not great versus left-handers, but it's also hard not to be better than they were versus right-handers. But they're decent versus left-handers. So I expect the Athletics to really contribute to this over, and certainly the Mariners to kind of just do what they're doing, and then they get that bullpen to really tack on late. So I think this over 9 is good at plus money. I like over 9.
I like it under. I had a low projection yesterday. I think I had Mariners putting up like 5-2. I think maybe like 7 runs. I have a 7.5 today as a projection. So under for me, I think. I probably will stay away from Athletics. There was way more value in the numbers yesterday than there is today. Even though I fully didn't expect them to win. I never played that game. I didn't actually take the Athletics, but. Yesterday you would have probably gotten 60, 70 cents of overvaluing. Today, I think right now you're at like 20.
Okay. All right. Well, make sure you do get over to hockeysquirrel.com so you know exactly what he's on today so you can profit with him and ring that cash register all night long with him. All right, fellas, that's it. Tuesday. Come on back tomorrow, live at 11 a.m. Eastern. Live at 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll break down Wednesday's slate here at Major League Baseball. Get these bets in. Look forward to tailing these with you and cashing with you. We'll catch on with you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, fellas.
See you, buddy.